To the residents of District 116 for entrusting us and daring honor of my land, serving in the House. To my district staff, Carolina Suarez, Mike Piñero, Lani Valido, George Conforme, Manny Chica, Daniela Basigalupo, and last but not least, Mike Cantens. Thank you all for your dedicated service to the residents of District 116, to the people of Miami-Dade County. But most importantly, thank you for your loyalty and friendship. This journey would have not been the same without you. To House staff, particularly those that I've been able to serve with on committees that I've chaired, Tom, Michelle, Suki, Fred, Paul, and my staff director, Stephanie Bertman, Joanne Lesnoff, who I know is watching on TV, and Lucy Ciccone. To my law firm, Bryant Miller Olive, law firm I've been with since law school, for their enduring support of me during these 8 years. To my friends with whom I've spent much time here, Manny, Bobby, Juan, George, Custon, Alex, thank you for your friendship and for the great memories. And to my family, who's always stood by me and inspired me with their enthusiastic support, particularly my parents, who dedicated their lives to the four of us in a selfless way. And to my 3 younger brothers, who always drove me and inspired me to be a better brother and a good example for them. You know, as I thought long and hard about what I'd say here today, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that my family and its history are inextricably linked to the boundless opportunities that I, my brothers, and my children have before us. My grandparents emigrated from Cuba 50 years ago with young children, leaving to a foreign land with little else than the clothes they had on their back. My maternal grandfather was a classmate of Fidel Castro. He lost much of what his family had worked so hard for upon Castro's takeover. He came to America and built a very successful, small, family-owned business. And he worked tirelessly, even when he didn't have to anymore, just to provide for his kids and grandkids. He and I had a very special relationship, and I lost him 2 years ago. I miss him very much, although I know he's always with me. To my paternal grandparents, who came to this country with 3 small children and a 4th soon on the way. My grandfather had a successful dental practice in Santiago de Cuba, only to find himself working as a janitor at Mercy Hospital, while he could study at night to be able to learn the English language and then pass his boards. My grandmother, who had never worked a day in her life, found herself working at a wig factory in Miami. And my father, one of my heroes, has been working since the age of 13. Not working to be able to get some extra spending money to spend in the summer for fun, but to be able to provide and contribute to the family. And although many of you commented on our softball game and my athletic experience and how privileged I've been for that, what you don't know is that my dad was an exceptional athlete and would have had the chance to play college basketball, but for his responsibilities at home. I've come to the conclusion that running for office and my desire to serve my community was a way to honor and validate the struggles they've encountered and the opportunities they've been provided in America. That family history and the countless personal sacrifices remain ever present in my life as I continue to serve my community. Members, we're privileged to be a part of something greater than ourselves. My personal interest and calling is to continue to fight so that we have a vibrant and substantive quality of life, so that my parents can decide to retire in Florida, and specifically Miami, and so that my kids can decide to raise their families there as well. I feel privileged to live in Miami-Dade and have represented that community here in Tallahassee. It's a true melting pot, rich in diversity, a community with a unique appreciation for the infinite opportunities awarded to all of us in this great land, and a special love for the freedoms we all are so privileged to enjoy, yet so often take for granted. That deep-rooted appreciation for a representative form of government inspired me from a young age to want to get involved in the public discourse where decisions are made that affect the lives of many. I would never have imagined, though, that at the age of 25, as a young lawyer, I'd be entrusted with a vote of confidence where I'd have a chance to represent over 130,000 people. And that brings me to this chamber and the legislative process. I would be remiss not to share some reflections, as I'd like to call them, perhaps maybe insights, much like Dr. Homan did, after serving under 5 speakers and 20 sessions, 8 regular and 12 special. The first is treat each other in this chamber in the same humble manner as you did when you knocked on your first door. Remember that irrespective of whatever chairmanship you have, however nice your office may be, However convenient your parking spot may be, we all are equally elected to serve as the voice for thousands. Second, don't fall into the mentality that you need to vote a certain way in order to get into the leadership structure of your respective party, because that mentality will inevitably last you your 8 years. To quote Tommy Lasorda, as you all know, I'm a baseball fan, and he's a very colorful guy. He said there are 3 types of baseball players, and I changed it to 3 types of legislators. Those who make it happen, those who watch it happen, and those who wonder what happened. And so I'd urge you to be the public servants that make it happen. Chart your own course by focusing on legislating, not politicking. Third, respect seniority. There's a lot to be said about the experience of those that have served before you and the experience that they've had. There should be a great appreciation for that and for their service. Fourth, appreciate staff. I've had the opportunity to work with some of the most talented and dedicated people in this building. Staff serves an invaluable function in their tireless pursuit to ensure that the decisions that we make are based on the most current information available. However, always be cognizant that there were only 120 of us duly elected to represent the people of this state. And last but not least, cultivate relationships. This process affords you the opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, all sorts of different professions. And I'd like to mention some of those. J.C. Planas, as he said earlier, someone who actually met while running for office. He turned out to be as loyal a friend and colleague as you can have. You're as a good-hearted person as I know, and I am grateful for your friendship. Bill Galvano, our relationship grew out of an intense speakership race many years ago, and our families have grown close, and it's been truly incredible to watch them grow up together. I will miss our daily interaction. To Gaston Cantens, who is our true leader in our Miami-Dade County Legislative Delegation, and who personified the virtue of statesmanship. To Don Davis, a man who taught me a lot about life. The great speaker Alan Bentz, in his infinite wisdom, paired Don Davis and I together. He was the chair of the TED committee, I was the vice chair. He was the oldest member in the House, I was the youngest. And he befriended me, and he was incredibly inclusive of me. He taught me how to chair a committee, but he also exemplified how we should remain humble in this process while enjoying life and all that comes with it. To Sandy Adams, your friendship and loyalty mean the world to me. There are few in this chamber that have sacrificed as much or served as admirably as you have in your years of service. To Ray Sansom, a good man who befriended me after that intense speakership race with Representative Galvano. He brought me into his leadership circle, and he entrusted me with a position of great responsibility. I wish him, Trish, and their girls all the best. And to Jeff Cockham, who couldn't be here today, and I know Cindy's up there. A man of honor and integrity who I'm privileged to call my friend. The Cockham story is an amazing one. From coming incredibly close to losing his life to being selected as Lieutenant Governor of Florida. Jeff, your courage and Cindy's courage can only serve as an example to all of us when we face incredibly challenging times in our lives. And to close, it's an undeniable truth that time is precious and that we must strive to maximize every minute that we have. God has bestowed upon me many blessings, and I consider my time in this chamber as one of them. You know, we all have an unquenchable thirst for success, and we all define that very differently. And when I was thinking what it takes to be successful in this process, it brought me more importantly to what it takes to be successful in life. And I recalled a poem that became one of my favorites as a child growing up, and I thought I would leave you with it today. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it's entitled Success, and it goes like this: to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. I'm truly blessed to feel that I have a leg up on success because I have a faith that guides me, a family that sustains me, and friends that stand by me. Thank you for your kind indulgence today. May God bless you and your families. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.